distinguished Chancellor, Dr. Kofi Kodua Sapong, who I guess is not here, Chairman of Council, Dr. Harry Lawson Agbanu, Vice Chancellor, Prof. John Mensah Mauto, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Registrar, Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies, respected faculty, Nime, Name, proud parents and guardians, the media, friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, friends with interest, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. First, let me say congratulations and ayuko to you. This is your day. You have worked tirelessly, sacrificed, you have endured sleepless nights, and now you sit here clothed in success. I feel deeply humbled and honored to be invited by UPSA to be the guest speaker for today. And I've been here a couple of times to do a couple of events. 2 weeks ago, I was here on the UPSA 1000, and I'm happy to be associated with this great university. There is a saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, graduates, you take your next step. I want to take you back 40 years ago, and I'm sure many of you graduates were not born. In the late September 1985, as a young boy starting my secondary education just across Presec Legon, my English teacher, the legendary Sir Martin Eje, on the first day of our English class, had written a poem in impeccable writing on the board, and he asked us to read in turn the various lines, and he told us it would shape our lives if we allowed it. And indeed, it has shaped mine. And I can still remember every word of that poem like it was yesterday. And it goes like this. Gradatim. Heaven is not reached by a single bound, but we build the ladder by which we climb. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. But they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. We have no wings, we cannot soar, but we are feet to scale and climb. Chairman said, this poem, the Gradatim, which means step by step, has been my life's philosophy. Every achievement I have experienced, from being a trained biochemist to starting my first job as a quality analyst at Fan Milk, now Danone, to switching careers for a job in sales at Nestle, to building iconic brands like Shell, Vodafone, Camel, Carson's Baby, and more recently, Gino, Pomo, etc., has not been by sudden leaps, but by steady steps. Let me pause and speak to you plainly about the reality you face. Graduates, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, the unemployment rate in Ghana stands at about 13.6%. Of those unemployed, nearly 22.3% are people with tertiary education. In other words, the competition is intense. The supply of graduates far exceeds the number of opportunities available. Some of you, as the Vice Chancellor said, will not be walking straight into your dream jobs. Some of you will need to create your own opportunities through entrepreneurship. And let me be honest, that road is not easy either. What this means is that to thrive in this country, Ghana, you must be prepared to unlearn old assumptions, learn new skills, and relearn lessons you may already know. This is how you will stay relevant in a fast-changing world. And this is why I want to share with you 7 lessons from my journey. They are not theories from textbooks, but truths I have lived, tested, and found reliable. Chairman said, Lesson 1, understand the unwritten rules of work. When you enter the world of work, you will quickly realize that success is not only about your degree or your hard work. There are unwritten rules. Learn the power of appearance. Your appearance and demeanor influence how others perceive your competence. This doesn't mean being flashy. It means being polished, confident, and appropriate for your environment. Be visible. Deliver more than is expected. Seek feedback. Take initiative. Early in my career, I noticed that those who thrived were not always the smartest, but those who understood how the workplace really worked. Every office has its own hidden culture, how people communicate, how decisions are made, what behaviors are rewarded. Learn it quickly. And remember, do not be a complainer, be a problem solver. Leaders value people who bring solutions, not just problems. Lesson 2, guard your reputation. In Robert Greene's book, 48 Laws of Power, he says, so much depends on your reputation. Defend it with your life. Your reputation is your currency. It will open doors long before you enter a room. Have a clear set of personal values and hold fast to them. I built my career on 4 values: trust, resilience, empathy, and faith. Trust is being dependable in word and deed. Resilience is bouncing back from setbacks. Empathy is being sensitive to people's needs. And faith is my conviction that God rules in the affairs of men. These values have guided me more than any job description ever could. So again, I say, guard your reputation. Once it is damaged, rebuilding it is 10 times harder. Lesson 3, connect the dots. Build a solution mindset. Steve Jobs once said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. To be successful, you need to teach yourself the art of putting various facts and ideas together to see the whole picture. This comes with time and with a lot of practice. As a trained biochemist, I was wired to analyze and think critically. That training has served me well in business. When problems arise, don't just ask, why did this happen? Ask, what is the solution? I follow a simple formula. Spend 20 to max 30% of your energy understanding and questioning and spending time on the problem, and the remaining 70% on building the solution. Many people waste time complaining, but winners spend time solving. Chairman, sir, lesson 4. Push yourself to be the best version of you. Self-awareness is the starting point. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Be honest with yourself. Many years ago, when I moved into a senior commercial role, I realized my biggest gap, remember I was a trained biochemist, was in finance. In the past, I relied on finance teams to break down the P&L. But now I was responsible. So I had to humble myself and ask a colleague who was an old university mate of mine to coach me after hours. I had to spend money from my own pocket to attend the course, Finance for Non-Finance Managers. That step changed everything for me at that point in my career. Robert Kiyosaki, in one of my favorite books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said, "Work to learn, not for money." That has been my story. Early in my career, when many people rushed to change jobs, I chose to stay longer because I wanted to learn. I said I wanted to be the best at what I was doing. And at the right time, when I go to the market, I will be able to dictate my value. By the time I had left, I had done virtually every role in sales, channel marketing, and I was not just ready for my next job. I was ready for leadership. The rest, they say, is history. Stephen Covey says, he calls this sharpening your saw. So keep improving. Strive to be a little better than yesterday, and even a little better tomorrow. Lesson 5, master communication. Communication is the most important skill any leader can possess. And this was said by Richard Branson of the Virgin Group that the VC just talked about. In my early days, I underestimated this. I lost opportunities to colleagues who knew less than I did, but who spoke better, they wrote better, and they presented better. That for me was a wake-up call. I then resolved to master communication, written, spoken, and listening. Every presentation is a story. If you cannot tell your story well, trust me, someone else will, and they may take away your opportunity. And never forget, first impressions matter a lot. Chairman, sir, lesson number 6, play for the team. There's an African proverb which goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. In the corporate world, no one wins alone. It's not about heroes. Even in football, the best striker needs a team to score goals. I have had the privilege of leading great teams that built powerful brands. That success was never mine alone. It was the collective effort of marketers, salespersons, distributors, consumer insight, commercial finance, supply chain, HR teams, and the list goes on. So be a good teammate. Ask questions. Listen deeply. Mentor and be mentored. Teams win. Loners do not. And now the last lesson, and one of my favorites, build resilience and passion. Nelson Mandela once said, "Do not judge me by my success, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." I have failed many times, and let me tell you a secret. My childhood dream was to become a medical doctor. But my A-level results crushed that dream. So I studied biochemistry instead, only to realize my true calling was in business. And I can say confidently, today I am grateful for that failure because it redirected me to my purpose. Resilience means learning from mistakes, but never repeating them. Passion means bringing energy to everything you do. If you don't love what you are doing, chances are you won't give it your best. And when you bring passion, creativity, and solutions are very likely to follow. In conclusion, Chairman said, graduates, if you haven't heard anything I said, take this as a summary. Life will not hand you sudden flights. Success will not come in a single bound. It will come gradating, step by step. My favorite actor, Denzel Washington, once said, "Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success." So as you leave here today, remember, understand the unwritten rules of work. Guard your reputation. Connect the dots. Build a solution mindset. Push yourself to be the best version of you. Master communication. Play for the team. And above all, build resilience and passion. Chairman said, I'll conclude by saying the future of Ghana, of Africa, and I dare say the world is sitting right here in this hall. So go out boldly, write your story, step by step. Congratulations, class of 2025, Ayiko.